Welcome to this edition of Ethical Sustainable Investment News and Analysis to Profit By. I'm Ron Robbins, an ethical investing pioneer for over 40 years, quoted in the Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, the Globe and Mail, and numerous other media, and founder of the highly respected global ethical sustainable investing information website, Investing for the Soul. And please listen to my disclaimer statement at the end of this podcast. Now enjoy this podcast. Hello, Ron Robbins here. Welcome to podcast episode 59, published on June 4th, titled Socially Responsible Dividend Stocks Plus, and presented by Investing for the Soul. Investingforthesoul.com is your site for vital global ethical and sustainable investing news, commentary, information, and resources. Remember that you can find a full transcript, links to content, including stock symbols, quotes, and bonus material at this episode's podcast page located at investingforthesoul.com/podcasts. And then scroll down to this page. Now, just a reminder, I do not evaluate any of the stocks or funds mentioned in this podcast. I only mention what the analysts and writers are saying. However, there might be the odd occasion where I do add a comment. Furthermore, if you're concerned about the ESG and sustainability ratings of any stock or fund included in this podcast, do check your broker's online site for such information. If your broker doesn't have this information, sign up for free with Morningstar, and you can gain access to company and fund ESG sustainability ratings. Please note, I receive no compensation from Morningstar or anyone else covered in these podcasts. If any terms are unfamiliar to you, simply do a Google search for that term. Now, many ethical and sustainable investors are interested in socially responsible dividend stocks. Fortunately, the staff at the Dividend Channel have identified what they believe are some of the 25 top socially responsible dividend stocks. But if you view more than 6 pages within 6 hours on their site, then you're required to register to view more. Registration is free, but do review the privacy policy and terms of use before signing up. So I'll just mention a few of their selected companies. The link to their site is on this podcast's webpage. These selected companies include Phillips 66 with a 4.27% yield, Truist Financial Corp 2.91% yield, Eaton Corp plc 2.09% yield, and Gilead Sciences Inc. with a 4.3% yield. My first article concerns healthcare stocks. In one way or another, these are in nearly every ethical and sustainable investor's portfolio. Now, the article I want to draw your attention to is titled, Best Healthcare Stocks to Buy This Week? For to Know, by Jonathan Phillip. It appeared on NASDAQ.com. Here are the stocks Mr. Phillips covers. I'll name them and follow on with brief quotes from him. 1. Rita Pharmaceuticals. The company focuses on identifying, developing, and commercializing product candidates for a range of serious or life-threatening diseases. Rita announced that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has requested the company to submit the request for a pre-NDA meeting for omaveloxolone for the treatment of Friedreich's ataxia. Now, I hope I got those spelled out correctly. Given that there is no known cure at this point for Friedreich's ataxia, approval of this drug would be monumental for the company. 2. Genitron Holdings. Genitron Holdings Limited is a precision oncology company that specializes in cancer molecular profiling. It also harnesses technologies in molecular biology and data science to transform cancer treatment. The company operates its businesses primarily within the China market. Genitron stock has been up by over 60% since the start of the year. 3. IMAB. IMAB is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company that commits to the discovery, development, and commercialization of novel or highly differentiated biologics. The company aims to treat diseases with significant unmet medical needs, particularly cancers and autoimmune disorders. The healthcare company's stock has been performing extremely well. Impressively, it has risen by more than 220% over the past year, with its bullish trend still intact. 4. Merck & Company. This is a global healthcare company that offers health solutions through its prescription medicines, vaccines, biologic therapies, and animal health products. It operates through 4 segments: pharmaceutical, animal health, healthcare services, and alliances. The company's drug, Keytruda, is one of the best-selling drugs in the world, generating almost $14.4 billion in revenue in 2020. End quotes. Now, 3 regulars to the Motley Fool site have contributed to this article titled, "These 3 renewable energy companies are getting too cheap to ignore." 1. Travis Hoyam suggests Canadian Solar. He says, "In the case of Canadian Solar, the value is now too good to pass up. Its ability to raise prices when costs go up should help Canadian Solar's slow and steady improvement in margin over the last decade." Solar markets can be volatile and profitability is unpredictable, but Canadian Solar stock is cheap enough to be a value for investors given the company's market-leading position in manufacturing and deploying solar panels. End quotes. 2 is Howard Smith, recommends Brookfield Renewable Partners. Quote, "The market rotation away from growth and alternative energy stocks has brought many down significantly from their highs. Investors can take advantage of that by buying businesses with strong growth opportunities and income from higher dividend yields. Shares of Brookfield Renewable Partners have dropped more than 20% over the past 3 months. That has brought the current dividend yield to about 3.5%. The recent drop in the share price gives investors a good entry point that will also provide a high level of income from the current dividend." End quotes. 3. Daniel Fulber likes Hainan Armstrong. Mr. Fulmer says that, quote, "Hainan Armstrong provides the capital needed to make renewable projects possible. As a real estate investment trust, Hainan Armstrong is in the business of making quality loans and passing its returns along to shareholders through dividends. Its long-term contracts tend to last for a decade or more, making its business relatively stable compared to other renewable energy stocks. With a price-to-earnings ratio of 33 and a dividend yield just shy of 3%, Hainan Armstrong is one of the safer ways to take advantage of the renewable energy stock sell-off." End quotes. There's a new alternative energy article on the Capital.com site. It's titled, Green Investing, Top 3 Green Energy Stocks to Watch in 2021. Here are the 3 they recommend, followed by some quotes on each one. 1. Renewable Energy Group, Inc. is a biodiesel production company based in Iowa that has been a Fortune 1000 company since 2018 and boasts billions of dollars in annual revenue. It is a global producer and supplier of biodiesel and other renewable fuels. According to MarketBeat, analysts now anticipate that the Renewable Energy Group will be worth about $100 a share very shortly. It's currently around $60. 2. Plug Power. While Plug may not boast the kind of EBITDA sales that appeal to some investors, it still boasts a partnership with automaker Renault to integrate its fuel cell technology into European commercial vans. That's not all. A $1.5 billion investment from Korea-based SK Group also has made Plug Power an attractive investment option to consider. Notable financial analysts, surveyed by the Wall Street Journal, estimate that Plug Power's stock price will reach $49 by the end of 2021, with others suggesting that it may reach as high as $79. My comment, it's currently around $30. 3. SunPower. There are many leading solar companies in the United States, but few of them are better positioned to grow than SunPower. It specializes in both solar power and energy storage. The company's flagship product, Maxion, a high-efficiency solar cell that boasts benefits over other traditional solar designs. SunPower's stock price has a potential to increase as more homes and businesses decide to go solar. End quotes. Honorable mentions. 1. Title: Upcoming launch of Solar Energy UCITS, that's UCITS ETF on London Stock Exchange, offers Europe's first pure-play exposure to the global solar energy industry. That was seen on etfexpress.com. 2. Title: Sustainable Impact Investing. One cheap stock for all value investors by Nikhil Kumar on ca.yahoo.finance.com. Quote, Dream Impact Trust focuses on investments that generate both strong financial returns and provide positive social and economic impacts in North American communities. The company's goal is to provide attainable and affordable housing. 3. Title: What are the top renewable energy stocks to watch in 2021? Maxim Manturov on businessleader.co.uk suggests SunPower Corp, which I just covered, First Solar Inc., Sunworks Inc., Ren Solar Limited, and Daco New Energy Corp, my quote here, which is controversial for many ethical investors as it's been accused of using forced labor. Mr. Manturov also says the 3 hottest renewable energy IPOs in 2021 are China Three Gorges Renewables Group, Acciona Energia, and Infinite Blue Energy. Well, these are my top news stories with their stock and fund tips for this podcast, Socially Responsible Dividend Stocks Plus. To get all the links, stock symbols, or to read the transcript of this podcast and more, go to investingforthesoul.com/podcasts and scroll down to this episode. Also, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons in iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you download or listen to this podcast. And please click the share buttons to share this podcast with your friends and family. Let's promote a better post-COVID world through ethical and sustainable investing. Contact me if you have any questions. Stay well and healthy and conscious about the ethical and sustainable values of your investments. Thank you for listening. Talk to you next on June 18th. Bye for now. Learn how to create a simple portfolio reflecting your personal values by taking my 1-hour tutorial. Go to investingforthesoul.com/podcasts and click the link in the right-hand column for my DIY Ethical Sustainable Investing Pays tutorial. Now, I'll mention in the podcast if I have any direct interest or holdings in companies or securities I'm talking about. Furthermore, any news, opinions, analysis, or other information offered by myself, as well as references and information to or from other external sources in this podcast, is provided as general market information and should not be relied upon and thus does not constitute investment advice. Investors should consult their own licensed investment professional before making investments. Also, I will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on information in this podcast. Do contact me at ronr@investingforthesoul.com. Signing off, this is Ron Robbins.